And for the first question, Main Street El Segundo has undergone a transformation over the past decade. The city has spent considerable funds and some new developments have been added or are under consideration. What would you like to see happen in the future to Main Street? And what would you do to attract more retail tenants? Ms. Topar.
Well, now by the time it gets to me, I don't have anything that's too special to say, but I too miss Ria's, RB's, Taylor's, all of those places that made our town sort of an historic place. Yes, definitely parking is a problem, but I do think that if we talk to the public and get some input, there's a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of ideas. I don't have them all. If I had them, I would have brought them forward and we'd be doing well with some of these businesses. But we definitely need to get the businesses in town. We don't really need a lot more real estate offices or different restaurants are nice, but we need to get something that actually brings people into our community. People want to walk up and down the street, shop a little, get ice cream, have something to eat, make it a place where you can make an evening out of it. And that's just something where we're going to have to get a lot of input from the community and see what works best for us.
Next question. Businesses and residents alike have seen a substantial decrease in the approval time for building permit approval. The city previously implemented a fast-track procedure for certain permits. Recently, local businesses have become concerned that this is no longer the case. What do you think the city should do to improve the process for business permit approval? Ms. Topar.
Yes, there is a disarray in the planning department and an inconvenience to our homeowners. It costs us money with poor service to our business community. We need to make sure that we have enough staff who are well-trained, and we need to make sure they follow the city policies. We cannot expect our employees to do the job that they would like if they are not given the correct resources. We need to give them the right resources and the tools so that they can do the job that they're expected to do. Thank you.
Third question. Sepulveda Boulevard is under the control of Caltrans. This can cause significant delays in making road improvements for businesses that front this street. A good example of this is street improvements at Plaza El Segundo. Some cities have implemented or are in the process of considering a takeover of their portion of Sepulveda or PCH. What is your opinion on this? Thank you. Ms. Topar.
I would have to agree with Jacobson, Burns, and Bush. I think that there's not a whole lot to say after that, but I definitely agree that it's a problem. It's not something that we want to take over, the financial burden of this, and we will just have to find some way to work out an agreement that works well with our businesses and our community.
The next question. The city's aquatics task force reviewed the current state of aquatics facilities in El Segundo and recommended a replacement pool or reconstruction of the plunge. They also looked at upgrades to the smaller community pools. Plaza El Segundo donated $1.5 million toward improvements. What would you like to see done to improve the aquatics facilities in El Segundo? Ms. Topar.
Yes, this is a controversial issue in our town, and I feel that being on the task force for a while that we had a lot of different discussion on this, but I think that the one that seems to be coming into place right now is the possibility of keeping the pool where it is and putting the money into it, either by building an outdoor pool in the same place or an indoor pool, whatever the public decides. But you can't make this decision without a lot of input from the city. But it seems that we're just putting good after bad money into this. It's just, there's so many things wrong with the pool. It's just an old thing, but I hate to get rid of the beautiful facade. If we could somehow have a joint use agreement with the school where we could get 30, 40 feet back or to the side and keep the school, keep the pool in the same place, I think that that would work well. But that is not going to be a decision that's made without a lot of input with the community. But I do not feel that we really need to have the two pools in the town. I think just we need to fix the one that we have and make it a nice pool.
Next question. If you are elected or re-elected, what is the single most important city council action you will try to bring about and why? Ms. Topar.
Yes, I think to me one of the most important things is getting the community back into the decision planning. I feel that a lot of times the decisions are made behind closed doors and then the community is consulted afterwards when the answers or the decisions have already been made. And I think that bringing the community back into the decision-making is a thing that we have to do. We don't want to have dissension between the council and the citizens, and input is just so important. We've done it in a couple things when we were going to develop that walking space in the back on the west side of town, or on the west side of town, and when we got the input, 85% of the community was not for that. And so it was good, so we stopped it. Why would you go on? If 80% of your community doesn't want to do it, then why would you do it? It's just common sense. If the people are for it and it works, you do it. If it's not going to work and the majority don't want it, then you don't. It doesn't seem like it's really that hard to get the people involved, but we can't do it by intimidation.
The next question. Recognizing that the business community generates the majority of city revenue, what strategies would you support to retain and encourage business development? Ms. Topar.
Could you repeat the question to me, please?
Yes. Recognizing that the business community generates the majority of city revenue, what strategies would you support to retain and encourage business development?
Well, of course, it's important to have fair and constructive relationship with our business community. Our business community, we're lucky to have some great corporate citizens that do at every major event. You see their logos, Chevron, Mattel, DirecTV, and many others. We have to remember that business is the engine that lets us live our Mayberry life. And I think that it's a beautiful community, and we just need to have a balance between our community and our citizens. So that's my answer.
Thank you. The next question. There has been interest in building a new privately run and financed senior assisted living facility in El Segundo. A possible location for this facility is the Imperial Avenue School. Would you support the rezoning and development of this site? And we're starting with Ms. Topar.
Naturally. Well, I don't know enough about this project right now to commit myself either way. But I do believe that once I have all the facts, and I would get all the facts before making any kind of a decision, I would also guarantee that I will listen to the community before I make a decision. So I will not come into this with my eyes wide open and have a good feel of what everyone else wants. But it's a new thing right now, and I'm not really I don't feel knowledgeable enough to give you an answer one way or the other.
The next question. With several major projects having come on stream in the last 5 years, the city has seen a tremendous amount of development activity. Do you think the activity level has been too high, too low, or just right? Would you support additional major projects planned for the city, or do you want to slow down the rate of growth? And growth is highlighted. Ms. Topar.
Yeah, I think we need to slow down a little bit. I believe that there's been a lot of development lately. I love this town. I plan on living here the rest of my life. I know we do need to move along with the times, but I think we need to do it at a very slow rate. I think sometimes we make decisions without thinking of what the real outcome of them are going to be, and once they're there, we're stuck with them, and there's nothing we can do. So I think we really need to take a long, hard look at the impact of these businesses that we're putting in here. We have a lot of time. We don't have to rush. We can get public community involved and say, do we need this? What's going to happen if we have this? Is it going to work for everyone? And if we all can come together, great, then we can build it. But if we don't, we just need to slow down. We don't have to rush so fast.
Thank you. I think this will be the last question. How would you revitalize the Smoky Hollow area, the area between Grand and El Segundo Boulevard? And would you support mixed-use, residential and commercial development? Ms. Topar.
Yes, that is a unique area, and there are a lot of issues over there. I'm not really familiar with a lot of how the zoning works over there, or the different businesses. I know I have a few friends that have businesses there. A couple people do live over there that I know, and they enjoy it because their business is also adjacent to their dwelling. But I'm not really sure who's going to really want to go there as the businesses. I'm not sure. I really don't know that much about that area. I know it's got a lot of potential, but I'm not sure how many people really want to go over there and develop businesses. So that's just something I would have to read and learn about.